Maya brushed a hand through her newly dyed black hair as she looked into the bathroom mirror. The sleek strands, now an inky shade that framed her face just past her shoulders, made her feel both powerful and mysterious. She loved experimenting with her appearance, whether it was makeup, fashion, or her hair. She wasn't alone in this either. Her boyfriend Ethan was just as adventurous, if not more. Ethan stood behind her, his own hair freshly dyed black and cut short. He grinned at their reflection in the mirror, their matching hairstyles a symbol of the bond they shared. At 24, they were both at that perfect point in life where they had enough freedom to do whatever they wanted, but also enough wisdom, or so they thought, to make the journey fun without any regrets. Living together had only intensified their mutual curiosity, always on the lookout for the next exciting thing to try. "So what's next?" Maya asked, playfully bumping her hip against his. Ethan's grin widened as he leaned over her shoulder, pressing a kiss to her cheek. "I've got an idea." Her eyebrows lifted. "Oh yeah? What crazy thing are you suggesting this time?" He chuckled, a mischievous gleam in his eyes. "What if we shaved our heads and went blonde? I mean, really go all in, like military-style short, then dye it blonde." Maya blinked, stunned for a moment. The idea was bold, even for them. Shaving her head had never crossed her mind, but there was something about Ethan's excitement that stirred something inside her. She had always loved changing things up, but this was next level. It was daring. It was thrilling. "You're serious?" she asked, turning to face him fully, her heart already picking up speed at the thought of it. Ethan nodded, his enthusiasm growing. "Why not? It'll be something we can do together, and we'll look awesome with matching blonde buzz cuts. Besides, if we hate it, it's just hair. It'll grow back." Maya bit her lip, excitement mixing with nervous energy. The idea of seeing herself with a shaved head, blonde of all things, was almost unimaginable. But the more she thought about it, the more she felt the pull of the unknown, the excitement of doing something completely out of the ordinary. "Okay," she said, her voice breathy with anticipation. "Let's do it." Ethan's eyes lit up and he pulled her into a tight hug. "I knew you'd be up for it. How about tomorrow evening? We'll do it at home, just the two of us." Maya felt a flutter in her stomach, a mixture of nerves and eagerness. "Yeah, let's do it. Tomorrow night." The next day passed in a blur of excitement and second-guessing. Maya found herself constantly touching her hair, wondering what it would be like to have it gone. She couldn't help but imagine herself with a shaved head, wondering how it would change the way she looked, how she felt about herself. Would she still feel beautiful? Or would it be a shock? By the time the evening rolled around, Maya was buzzing with anticipation. She and Ethan had set up their bathroom as a makeshift salon, complete with clippers, dye kits, towels, and an air of adventure. Ethan, always the more confident one, was ready to go first. Maya stood behind him as he sat on a stool, clippers in hand. His black hair, recently dyed just like hers, was about to meet its end. Her fingers hovered over the switch, her heart pounding in her chest. "Are you sure?" she asked, her voice tinged with both excitement and nerves. Ethan looked up at her through the mirror, his grin as wide as ever. "Absolutely. Let's do this." With a deep breath, Maya flicked the clippers on, the sound of the buzzing filling the small bathroom. She placed the clippers against the side of Ethan's head, and with a careful push, watched as the first chunk of hair fell away. It was exhilarating. As more and more hair fell to the floor, she could see his scalp emerging, pale and smooth. Ethan closed his eyes, smiling, clearly enjoying the sensation. "How does it look?" he asked, his voice a mix of anticipation and amusement. Maya laughed, her nervousness giving way to excitement. "You look like a totally different person already." Within minutes, Ethan's head was completely shaved, the soft stubble left behind barely there. He reached up, rubbing his hand over the new buzz cut, a look of awe on his face. "This feels amazing," he said, his grin widening. "But now it's your turn." Maya felt her stomach flip. She had been so focused on shaving Ethan's head that she hadn't fully wrapped her mind around the fact that it was now her turn. But despite the nerves, she couldn't deny the excitement coursing through her veins. This was going to be a completely new experience. She sat down on the stool, handing Ethan the clippers. Her heart raced as he fastened the cape around her shoulders, the plastic material cool against her skin. She could feel the weight of her hair resting on her neck, knowing that in just a few minutes it would be gone. "You ready?" Ethan asked, his voice gentle but full of excitement. Maya swallowed hard, nodding. "Yeah, I'm ready." Ethan flicked on the clippers, the buzzing sound even louder now that it was her turn. Maya closed her eyes, bracing herself for the first pass. When she felt the clippers against her scalp, the sensation was unlike anything she had ever experienced. The vibration of the blades, the feeling of her hair being sheared away, it sent a thrill through her. She opened her eyes just in time to see the first clump of black hair fall onto the cape. It was surreal. She had always been proud of her long, flowing hair, but watching it fall away was strangely liberating. With each pass of the clippers, more hair fell, and with it, her anxiety. In its place, a growing excitement bubbled up inside her. By the time Ethan finished, Maya's head felt lighter than it ever had before. She reached up, running her hand over the soft buzz, marveling at the feel of it. It was so different, so new. She couldn't help but smile. "I love it," she whispered, her eyes wide as she looked at herself in the mirror. She couldn't believe how good it felt, how free she felt. She had never imagined she would love it this much. But now that it was done, she couldn't imagine going back. Ethan grinned at her reflection. "You look incredible." "Now for the blonde," she said, excitement building again. They spent the next hour carefully applying the blonde dye to each other's hair. The transformation was almost magical, going from dark, inky black to a bright, almost platinum blonde. When they finally rinsed out the dye and looked at themselves in the mirror, they couldn't help but laugh. "Look at us," Ethan said, turning his head from side to side. "We look like a couple of rock stars." Maya giggled, running her fingers through her short blonde hair. It was such a drastic change, but she loved every second of it. "I can't believe we actually did it." Ethan pulled her into a hug, pressing his forehead against hers. "We're unstoppable, you and me." For the next few days, Maya couldn't stop staring at her reflection. Every time she caught a glimpse of herself in a window or a mirror, she had to stop and take it in. The short blonde hair made her feel bold, confident, and more alive than ever. She loved the way it felt, the way it looked. She and Ethan were having the time of their lives, reveling in their matching blonde buzz cuts. But Maya wasn't done experimenting just yet. A few days later, she found herself staring at a bottle of pink hair dye she had picked up on a whim. The blonde had been fun, but now she wanted something even more vibrant, something that would make her stand out even more. "Ethan," she called from the bathroom, holding up the bottle. Ethan appeared in the doorway, his eyes widening when he saw the pink dye in her hand. "You're going for pink now?" Maya grinned. "Why not? I'm already blonde, might as well go all the way." Ethan laughed, shaking his head in disbelief. "You're crazy, you know that?" "I know," she said with a wink, "but you love it." Ethan couldn't argue with that. A few hours later, Maya was sporting a bright pink buzz cut that made her feel like a total badass. She loved the way it looked, the way it made her feel even more confident and free. "I think I'm going to keep it short for a while," she said as she admired her new look in the mirror. "I don't think I've ever felt this good about myself." Ethan wrapped his arms around her from behind, resting his chin on her shoulder. "I think it suits you. You look amazing." Maya leaned into him, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. "Thanks. I think I'm going to enjoy this new chapter." Together, they stood in front of the mirror, their matching buzz cuts, his blonde, hers pink, a symbol of their shared adventure. They had taken a leap, tried something new, and come out the other side feeling more alive than ever. It was just hair, after all, but to them, it was so much more. It was a reminder that life was meant to be lived boldly, together,